fingerprint on my soul.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful round here with Sausage Dodgers Racing here at Snetterton for round 2. Track length of 2.9 miles or 4.7 kilometers. Founded in 1951, it's the current layout since 2011. We are located in Norfolk, England with 12 corners, 5 to the left, 7 to the right. It's anybody's ball game. Couple of keys to the race: maximize your straight line speed. Snetterton is a power track with long straights like Senna and Bentley. Number 2, brake stability into the heavy braking zones. The circuit has big stop zones after high speed sections. In the Montreal Wilson hairpin, the end of the Bentley straight, and the final complex into Murray's. The front wheel TCR cars are prone to locking up the front, so tire management matters early on, which leads us into 3 and 4. Being clinical through the technical section, a smooth input over aggression here, and the bad exit could cost you all the way down to the next straightaway. Tire management over the long run. Long loaded corners like Coram, the fast right-hander, and heavy braking zones can cook your front, so overdriving early means no grip later on. Taking a look here at the track, it'll be Simone Massi in 4th place right now. Running in P4. And something we forgot to do, I apologize. Get those points out. Show you exactly what I was talking about. Noah Osbaldeston leads with 134, Leslie Simpkins 115, Mark Richards in third, Jack McCarthy in fourth, Augusto Sicosio in fifth, Vincenzo Stagnito, Fabio Falchi, Francisco Cardullo, Brostonu, Darch, Masi, Mofet, Corbett, Stefania, Rapparelli, Ward, Abito, and Manetti will round out the top 18. Over to Paul Sims, Mickey Phipps, Mauro Gabbiati, David Johnson, Tim Williams, Richard Herring, Nick Ewers, Kasper Wazowski, Wesley Beekhouse, and Kevin Dehan. Rounding out the 28 participants with Simone Tigas being the 29th driver. Looking forward to tonight as we have 24 drivers lining the grid currently. The qualifying session about to conclude, and we will get these results populated in just a few moments' time. Finishing up the qualifying session will be Massey here. With just about a minute remaining in the session, Gabbiani finds P3 in the front row of the start of the second row, I should say. Well, 2:03 that last time around. 3/10 back from pole position will be Gariglia. Or Guariglia. Alfredo running the Audi is the first of the Audis. And Tim Williams in the 797 running pretty well in sixth place. Then we have Simone, then Simon, Kasper, Oscar Corbett, Vincenzo Stagnito back in action in 11th place. Simone Rapparelli, Leonardo Stefania, Francisco Cardullo, Mark Richards not faring well under these wet conditions in the 420 back in 15th place. Stefania finds P7 on their last lap of running. And that'll round out the session, folks. Let's take a look at the results. Noah Osbaldeston for the Nova Motors Esports team led the charge. Garaglia in P2, Gabbiati, Butler, Simpkins, Williams, Stefania, Massey, Darsh, Wazowski, Corbett, Stagnito, Rapparelli, Cardullo, Richards, Manetti, Falchi, and Sicosio. And further down with drivers, well, that didn't set times as well. Down to 24th position. Taking a look at that front row, it will be Osbaldeston and Graglia, Gabbiati and Butler, Simpkins and Williams, Stefania and Massey, Darsh and Wazowski, Corbett and Stagnito. Rapparelli and Cardullo, Richards and Manetti, Falchi and Sicosio, Mofat and Ewers, Phipps and Ward, El Tego and Morabito will line the last 12th row here tonight. Let us know your predictions, folks. Who do you think is going to come out on top? And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Get notifications for when we go live next. Interestingly enough, folks, this is going to be the first time that we're going to use this graphic as drivers decide if they want to take the wets or the dries. And it's green, green, green here for Sausage Dodgers Racing. And Osbaldeston has a great start, and it looks like a big bog down for Graglia as he absolutely misses it. Gabbiani goes forward into P2, now chases down Osbaldeston for the lead. Gabbiani on the wet weather tires right now, so potentially having the pace early on in this stint to run down his opponent. Around the outside, Gabbiani is going to have the overspeed and the momentum, but does he have the grip as well, as Osbaldeston gives him a little bit of an elbow out there. Morabito and Sicosio, unfortunately, out of this race. Tim Williams shotguns himself up into P5 for the 797, leaving Simone Massey in the 69 behind in 6th place. Kasper Wazowski, though the driver from Poland, is up 3 positions, currently in 7th place. Keep an eye on these tires, folks, and some drivers are obviously going to have their tires overheat while others not so much. It's not raining right now, but we'll have to take a look at the weather to see. Weather's a cool 64 degrees, 18 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy skies, 71% humidity, so the track's really not going to dry up that quickly. And there's a pass for Williams on Lewis Butler. Whoa, there's moves being made up ahead as Mauro Gabbiani defends hard for Leslie Simpkins behind. Oh, big crashes for Daniel Moffat, Oscar Corbett, Leonardo Stefania as well. Let's take a quick look and see what happened here for Daniel Moffat and Oscar Corbett. Whoa, no, late on the brakes and just became a spear. Mark Richards garnishing some time, at least a couple of positions on the run of things. He's up 3 positions, but Fabio Falchi, that impressive drive for him, is up 6 positions on the good currently. Richards has Cardulo behind, posturing for a move to the inside line, and Richards can't close the door. In fact, Richards gets a tank slapper on entry, rejoins the racetrack, but will surely have a black flag slowdown penalty for corner cutting. Here comes Cardulo now. We'll check out Lewis Butler and Wazowski's battle as fast laps come trickling in. That'll be Simone Massey with the fast lap of the race at 2:03.2 currently, and he's doing it on the wet weather tires. 15:20 remaining on the clock Will we see the wet weather tires fade? Or will the dries be the optimal strategy choice? Anthony Ward in a little bit of a tussle back here as the Autism in Motorsports machine goes wheel to wheel with Stefania ahead, and behind Simone Tigas El Tego is behind. Rapparelli here in 19th position in the Audi. Oh no, there's an off from Stefania. Able to come back on track, but with the rejoin, collides with Mickey Phipps. Oh, up ahead, it'll be Stagnito going wheel to wheel with Darsh. On entry, they'll touch. And that'll be the number 8 of Garaglia now. Charging through the field once again, as they had that abysmal race start, seemingly not even having their car started for the race start. A little bit of brake dragging there from the number 8. You can see their lights on as they come off now, headed down in towards corner number 1. There'll be a 3-way squabble here for P10. Garaglia in P9, Darsh in P10, and Fabio Falci further back. Wipers are on, lights are on for safety, of course. Mark Richards still defending back. Cardulo and Paolo Minetti. Here comes Cardulo's run. Richards holds fast to the inside line. Cardulo has to do the work on the outside. Richards has spun out here before, but the drivers come together on entry, and Cardulo, I think he gets the worst of it as the 420 is able to skate on. Up ahead to Casper's battle with Lewis Butler. Up ahead, Butler makes a brief mistake now. This is going to allow Casper alongside, and we're going to get 3 wide as Stagnito throws his nose in the mix, also coming down into turn 1, and that's going to end in tears as Stagnito gets taken out, but he rejoins the battle just behind. Holy smokes, what a save from Stagnito. Battle still continues between Butler, Wazowski, and Stagnito. Up. This is absolutely insane. That's Garaglia in the background, driving the AG20, number 8, back up into a fighting battle. This time he's got Stagnito up ahead. A little bit of an off from the 16 of Wazowski. Gonna challenge the run from Groglia, but he's able to get through now. Nine minutes and 50 seconds remaining on the clock. Noah Osbadelson's pulled out. A nearly 3-second gap on Mauro Gabbiati. Here in the background, a four-way squabble between Anthony Ward, Daniel Moffat, Francisco Cardullo, and Michael Phipps. Back over to the Stagnito Garaglia battle. Stagnito defends the inside line from the number 8 as he loses out to the Butler battle ahead. Looks like Kasper Wazowski ended up going off track, came back on behind Garaglia. To the inside line goes the number 8. Gonna get elbows out with the number 21. Almost misses the corner there. And 21 of Stagnito gonna have a little bit of blood in his eyes right now. Challenging the number 8, coming down the back stretch. Into Brundle, and then the kick back into Nelson before bomb hole. Nick Ewers here in a squabble with Tigas and Mark Richards ahead. Fastest lap of the race coming out from Osbadelston. A 2-minute 6.8 as the dry tires seemingly get up to temperature finally. Richards here defending from Tigas, who is able to get by around the outside. Here and now, the Team Racing Point driver throws his elbows out, but so does Richards with a little bit of a move there in a straight line, trying to give the pinch to the number 11, who nearly goes off the racetrack, but now it's single file line between the trio. Nick Ewers in the background, observing the battle for now, not getting involved. Richards goes a little deep. T-Gas doesn't need to be invited twice to the party, and he'll go through on Richards. Again, those dry tires kind of kicking up heat now. As you can see, the faster drivers at this point of the stage are all on dries. on board with Richards now, the number 420. And it's dark and overcast here in Norfolk. And the clouds are looming with danger. Richards lets off a bit earlier than Tigas does. You're just leaving a healthy margin for error just in case something were to happen. Here's one of our Patreon subscribers, Michael Phipps. Michael Phipps drives the 211 Audi right now and sits behind Daniel Moffat. The number 7 Honda. And it looks like a Honda podium for now, or a Hyundai podium, excuse me. As Alls, Bedelston, Gabbiati, and Leslie Simpkins are all on the Hyundais. And the first of the Hondas being Butler, all the way back into P6, who chases down Simone Massey up ahead. $159s now coming in from the leader. This track is definitely rubbering in at this point and drying out. There goes Butler through on Massey, the Racing Point driver. Little wiggle under brakes, but manages to hold on. And again, those dry tires just putting in the work at this point of the race. Looking back at Cardulo, who's down 3 positions right now, is going to get the overspeed on Paolo Minetti, but won't go for a late braking lunge. Waits for the mistake from the 72, and that'll be a problem that solves itself for Cardulo. Simone Massey in a little bit of trouble right now as we have Garaglia behind. And that number 8 on a big recovery drive and a little bit of elbows out there to the Racing Point driver. But recovers. Battle up ahead between Twim Williams and Lewis Butler, as Butler goes off in deep at the bomb hole. This will be the final lap of the race. Osbaldeston takes the white flag this time by, as he sets a new fast lap of the session. Alfredo here trying to duke it out with Butler in the closing stages of the heat. Both drivers on the dry compound tires, so equally matched advantages there. A look to the inside line on the 14, but he doesn't even flinch. Butler keeps on driving forward. Normally you could scare them into a mistake, but Lewis Butler is not fazed by the attacking shenanigans behind. As Lewis Butler is trying to get a move done on Tim Williams in the closing stage. Williams comes down the back stretch in towards Nelson, side by side through bomb hole. He's gonna unfortunately lose 1 and 2 positions there for Williams in the final heat. It'll be Osbaldeston to take the checkered flag and the victory for the first heat. Mauro Gabbiati is going to drift his way to the checkered flag in P2. Leslie Simpkins in third, Butler in fourth, Garaglia in fifth. Tim Williams, Massey, Stagnito, Wazowski, and Darsh going to round out your top 10. Get the official results populated here in just a moment. And we'll get ready for our feature race, of course. Hello, Simone Massey. Very good drive into P7, Mr. Massey. Just waiting for the last of the drivers to cross the line, and when they do, the session will advance over to the feature race. Here are the results from Heat 1. Osbaldeston, Gabbiati, Simpkins, Butler, Garaglia, Williams, Massey, Stagnito, Wazowski, Darsh in the top 10. Here's our starting grid. On the front row, it'll be Darsh, Wazowski, Stagnito, Massey, Williams, Garaglia, Butler, Simpkins, Gabbiati, Osbaldeston, Degas, and Falchi. Down to Richards, Cardullo, Ewers, Minetti, Rapparelli, Stefania, Moffat, Ward, Phipps, Corvette, Morabito, and Sicosio. And we're ready to go racing here. And it's green, green, green. And Kasper Wazowski has a good start, but we're 3 wide further back. Coming down into towards turn 1. It's going to be a little chaotic and hectic for all of the drivers. Wazowski's on the wets, though. So is Ward, but those are going to be the only 2 deciding factors for the field right now. Wazowski falls back down into P2. Can they get the run back now early on while the wets still fare well? No, Osbaldeston slingshots themselves up into P5 already. Tim Williams with a good run up into P3 currently, sitting fairly well. but has the likes of Garaglia and Osbaldeston waiting in the wings right behind. There goes the move from Garaglia, and that's going to be a shunt into the 797, who keeps it calm, cool, and collected, and everything beneath him until he barges out with the number 16. That's Kasper Wazowski having an off, rejoining the racetrack. They're going to go elbows out there. Osbaldeston, speaking of elbows out racing, is going to go for the lead of the race here and now, leaving Butler, in the lead of the race. Osbaldeston in P2, Garaglia in P3, Leslie Simpkins in P4. Side by side between Simpkins and Garaglia, epic side by side action as a ton of respect was given to each other. Simone Massey here, trying to get a position on the number 8, but it won't be that easy. You got to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning to break later than Garaglia. Here's Tigas, the Team Racing Point number 11 driver, stuck in behind Simon Darch and Kasper Wazowski. Limping it around the racetrack on the wet compound tires. Probably regretting his decision now, as there goes Darsh on an attacking blow. Will find enough real estate to get alongside Wazowski and get ahead there, dragging Tigas along with him. Now Wazowski has to do damage limitation, or else he's going to keep on losing positions, as there goes now Stagnito around the outside. And Stagnito pulls out a great showstopper of a move. Here goes Simon Darsh, who just lost that position to Tigas up ahead. Ewers in the 55, leading Mark Richards around Snetterton. And Ewers is probably going to wonder what's going on with the 16 up ahead, and why are they driving so slowly as Mauro Gabbiati's spun around. Let's get a replay of what happened here. Mauro Gabbiati all by their lonesome, it looks like. Unforced error, and spins them around in a dangerous part of the racetrack, and a whole bunch of evasive action taking place to avoid any further collisions. Whoa, there was a late move. Mark Richards goes round. I think that was Leonardo Stefania making that move. Laid on the brakes on Richards from a far ways back. Yes, it was. That number 13 was not making the corner without assistance. Stefania through, but gives the positions right back to Ewers and Cardulo. There's a charging bull of Paolo Minetti. Holy Toledo. Came around all three of those cars behind. Let's keep our eye on Stefania, Corbett, and Mofat here. Holy Toledo, there goes Mofat with a big drift in the background. but recovers the vehicle. Back over to the Ewers battle. And Paolo Minetti now the cork in the bottle to Leonardo Stefania, who goes for a crazy move. What was that? I am speechless. 23 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Oscar Corbett might be the biggest gainer on the evening tonight with 11 positions gained for the Zebra Machine. Make that almost 12 as he gets a little bit crazy with Paolo Minetti, and I don't know what to say as he gets spun around by Simone Rapparelli, it looks like. Up ahead, here's Paolo Minetti and Francisco Cardullo. Oh! And a big mount of the curb for the number 72, allowing the 75 of Cardullo to get alongside, and dragging along through is going to be Daniel Mofat. Oh, this is getting a little sketchy. Under brakes now. You can see the dry line forming for the drivers currently. And once you get out onto the wet stuff, it is a little bit more dangerous. Single file line coming down and towards turn one. There goes a move from the 7, a 2-for-1 special for Mofat. And the challenge from the 72 immediately back to retort. Here and now, battle for the top 10 continues. Paolo Minetti, Daniel Mofat, Mickey Phipps in the background. Big shout out and thanks to all of our Patreon subscribers. Those of you in the tier 1 category, of course, Leslie Simpkins, Andrew Kenny, Mark Richards, Jack McCarthy, and Simon Darsh as 2 wheels become airborne for Daniel Mofat, who is not a Patreon subscriber, by the way, who should be a Patreon subscriber. Daniel Mofat, looking at you. Mickey Phipps, Andrew Kesterton in the tier 2 category, and of course Jack Jacketson, and now Craig Starkey into the tier 3 category on the Patreon. Thank you very much, Craig, for your support. I'm just kidding, Daniel, you don't have to become a Patreon, although I would love you a little bit more if you were a Patreon. Francisco Cardullo and the 16 of Wazowski. And I think Wazowski is definitely dealing with damage limitation at this point. Down 8 positions. Definitely took a gamble on the wet tires. but is riding them to the bitter end at this point. Lewis Butler with Leslie Simpkins in tow. The battle for second and third still alive. And don't forget about Garaglia. He's been very fast tonight and showing a significant amount of pace. Defending hard. The inside line is the 14 of Lewis Butler. In alternate lines, looking, but no leaping yet as the drivers all stay single file now. Massey with a meatball flag after a big crash. Let's get a replay of what happened here to Massey. Right behind this battle, actually, was Massey. Oh no! And just looped it, but where did the meatball come from for Massey? I'm not seeing any major incidents there, but is going to come down pit road. Daniel Moffat going door to door with the number 16. Now 72 comes along through. That's Paolo Manetti for GRT Esport Team. Mauro Gibbiani was able to get by on his recovery drive. Simone Massey. And Oscar Corbett gets around Casper here. Leslie Simpkins and Lewis Butler going wheel to wheel, but now the 8 chucks it in as well. And Leslie Simpkins gives a little love tap to the number 8. But it's not enough to defend. Groglia now up into third position and chasing down Lewis Butler. Beautiful liveries from the drivers out on track. Showcasing a little bit of their personality. Here's Tigas and Vincenzo Stagnito. Stagnito is up into 5th position. Still down 2 from where they started the race on the podium, but still the simdrivers.eu pilot doing very well tonight to stay green and clean. Oscar Corbett and Daniel Moffat here on the racetrack as they run into lap traffic. I think that's Anthony Ward. That is Anthony Ward that they were able to get around. Looking back at Garaglia and Butler's battle. I have a feeling like this one's gonna boil over soon. There's Groglia with the look and forces the late break from Butler. And there's Simpkins to the inside. Posturing blows. Glancing off of the purple Audi in front. 3 different manufacturers into the top 3. You absolutely love to see it, folks. Late on the brakes is Simpkins in the pursuit of the podium now. The draft is definitely there for Leslie. And he moves to the inside line, gets a little bit of paint exchanged with the purple number 8, and holds on to the inside line again now. And the 33 is through now here at Augie's. Graglia, not done yet. Knows that a podium is definitely on for tonight. Potentially, but he's got to work with Simpkins to get by Butler. No one has been able to thwart his pace so far. Oscar Corbett in the background. Again, up 9. Excuse me, make that 11 positions for the 998 still. Dana Wolfat up ahead, up 9 positions. Taking a look at the lap times, it will go the way of Graglia. That last time by, faster than Simpkins, and so is Stagnito by half a second. So actually catching up to this pack of 3. But I think with 11:30 left to go, it's not quite enough. On board with Leslie Simpkins now. He's actually giving a little bit of a push to Butler. Going into the braking. Into Brundle and Nelson. Now the kick into bomb hole. We go down long loop of Corum. After Corum, it's Murray's left-hander. And it's the start, finish straight. Pit road on the right-hand side. You can see how precise he is. The steering inputs right here. Not a lot of corrections being given from Leslie Simpkins. A little bit tighter at the 8 packs for the 33 on the 14 up ahead. Keeps on scaring Butler to that inside line. Here's Simpkins going on an attack. Bumps into the back of the number 14. And Graglia is going to be here, ready to strike at a moment's notice. Around the outside for Simpkins, but it's just not going to work out in his favor, unfortunately. He's pushing as hard as he possibly can, but he can't find a way past Lewis Butler up ahead. Butler keeps on defending hard but fair. In this three-way battle for P2, P3, and P4. Simpkins later on the brakes, then the 14 up ahead. Coming down into Murray's, amount of the sausage upsets the downshift, and this might give the move over to the number 8 of Garaglia behind. Mauro Gabbiati on that recovery drive. About to get by Wazowski. But we'll stay glued here with the battle for the lead. 7.5 minutes remaining, folks. Garaglia, super late on the brakes, makes a dive to the inside on Simpkins. All that's going to do is slow them down from their charge on Lewis Butler in P2. Now things have definitely quieted down. These are the closest battles on the racetrack. 157.3 coming out for the race leader. $158.7, $158.9, $158.9 from P2, 3, and 4th. Now with 5.5 left to go, I'm curious how this is all gonna pan out. Leslie Simpkins comes into this round second place in the championship. But will he walk away with it in that same order? Single file running between the trio. Still, and there is a 24 on the racetrack, and it looks like Butler clipped him, and that's definitely going to cause some aero damage and slow down the run. Here comes Leslie Simpkins and Garaglia now to the inside panel on Simpkins, and that really hurt Simpkins' attack. And there is an off from Butler, and the first mistake he makes, Simpkins and Garaglia are through in the battle for P2, 3, and 4. Garaglia to the outside run on Leslie Simpkins, who defends the inside. Butler to the inside, barges out the number 8, finds the quarter panel and gets there alongside, but he doesn't get the run on the straightaway. Cheers for Lewis Butler in chat from Lloyd Butler. Tim Williams chases on Daniel Moffat here. In the battle for 9th, here goes Tim Williams to the inside line, but maybe in too deep, but he'll get a good run on quarter exit on Daniel Moffat. Williams again attacks the number 7's inside line, and he's through, and so is Rapparelli. Or not, as the 83 falls back behind. Up ahead to Simpkins, Garaglia, and Butler as we get onto the white flag lap. This is where last lap lunges will be made, if any. Leslie Simpkins kicking up a little bit of dirt as he goes a little bit wide at turn 1. This allows the gap to come down at corner number 1. Simpkins very much under threat for this podium. Rapparelli and Moffat exchange blows. Gabbiati and Falchi exchange blows on the final lap here. Under attack from the purple machine behind. Number 8 is looking menacing right now. And closed down a whole heap of time on Leslie in the last lap. Noah Osbaldeston takes the win. Leslie Simpkins in this battle for P2, 3, and 4 is where we'll cross the line. Leslie Simpkins in P2, Garaglia in P3, and Butler in P4. Stagnito comes home with an impressive P5 with Simone Tigas in P6, Francisco Cardullo in 7th. Simon Darsh, Paolo Minetti, Oscar Corbett will round out your top 10. Battles to the line between Moffat, Massey, and Rapparelli as they all cross the line safely. Gabbiati, Falchi, Wazowski, Ewers, Michael Phipps. We'll get the official results posted here in just a few moments. as we get drivers ready for their interviews. Results for our feature race. Osbert Elston took the win by 15, nearly 16 seconds in front of Leslie Simpkins and Graglia in P3, Lewis Butler in P4, Vincenzo Stagnito in P5, Tigas in P6, Cardullo in 7th, Simon Darsh in P8, Minetti, Corbett round out your top 10. Tim Williams came home in 11th, Rob Borelli in 12th, Massey, Gabbiati, Fauci, Wazowski, and Ewers round out your top 18. Down to 24, it brings out Michael Phipps, Morabito, Ward, Richards, Stefania, and Sicosio.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, how we doing?
Good. Who is this?
This is Louis Butler.
Hello, Lou Butler. How do you do?
Not too bad. Had a great three-way battle for seconds. Literally the whole race of Leslie and Alfredo.
Yeah, you had
Wicked
a good battle. Yeah. It was a great battle. You almost came home with the podium there and the closing stages. It all came down to just one mistake. You were defending hard there from Leslie Simpkins for quite some time. Talk to us about that feeling.
It was tricky to keep Leslie and that behind. I was suffering with wheel damage after a lapped car spun it at the tricky left-right section and had to slow me down a bit. It did catch me off guard going into the oncoming corners and a crucial mistake that just let him through. But yeah, it was awesome battle.
Yeah, almost forgot about that car parked sideways coming through bomb hole, it looked like. A bit of a tricky situation for you all, but you're nearly able to escape scot-free. But now, definitely a situation of what could have been. Looking forward to the next race, Lewis.
Yeah, should be good fun. It was quite a nice introduction to the TCR series. My first time driving these cars, and they're a lot different feeling because they're front-wheel drive. But yeah, they're awesome cars.
Absolutely. Anybody you want to shout out tonight, Lewis?
My granddad, my uncle, and my nan. They are probably watching on the stream, and I just want to say thank you for supporting me.
Right on. Thank you very much, Lewis. Have a great night, brother, and stay safe.
And you, see you, my friend.
It looks like that's going to do it here for us tonight, folks. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned from green to checkered flag. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, bringing you all the live production from green to checkered flag for Sausage Dodgers Racing week after week. If you like what you see and you want to get involved in the racing action, come join us at Sausage Dodgers Racing on Discord. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Have a great night. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now. All the voices in my head getting louder. They told me